Well, today I'm planning to swap on a 14 to 18 step bumper onto my '07 Sierra. This is supposed to be a pretty straightforward swap, but I haven't seen any all-encompassing write-ups or anything for it that include all the details. So I'm going to dive into it and see exactly how easy this is. I started off by removing my license plate and both tag light assemblies. Next, I unplugged the trailer light connection and turned it counterclockwise to remove it from the bumper. The cover for the spare tire access was missing from my bumper, so unfortunately I don't have any removal instructions. Next, I moved on to the bumper bolts, starting with the two that go up from the bottom, through the hitch, and through the frame. On each side, located on the outside of the frame rail, there will be a 15mm bolt. If you still have the factory hitch installed, there will be two bolts that go up through the hitch and into the bottom of the bumper. On the inside of each frame rail, there will be two 18mm nuts. Once those are removed, a bracket with the studs can also be removed. Unclip the tag light harness from the bumper and then simply slide the bumper out for removal. So it's been a couple days since I pulled my rear bumper off and things have progressed. This is my original bumper from my '07, and then both of these are 14 to 18 step bumpers. First one I bought, which is this one, has a little damage on the bumper and it didn't come with bumper brackets. So I looked at the '07 bumper, they don't swap over. So I got to looking, you can buy new brackets for about 50 bucks, but I found a whole nother bumper for 100 bucks locally. So I went and grabbed that bumper. I have it all torn apart, all the plastics off, because they're kind of chewed up. But yeah, so the biggest takeaway from this is if you buy one of these bumpers used, make sure you get the brackets with it. And the other thing I've noticed is if you have a 1500, you've got to get a 1500 bumper. I think 2500 and 3500s, you can use those bumpers on those trucks. But like I said, 1500, it's got to be another 1500 bumper. As for the wiring and the trailer plug and the tag lights, so I've learned a few things here too. So these are the '07 tag lights. This would be the stock 14 to 18 tag light. So I had actually bought a set of just cheap LEDs off Amazon for mine because the original bumper I bought didn't come with any. But as you can see, basically just has this plug on here. And what I realized about the two different trucks, so this is one of each from the harnesses. The actual tag light bulb and connector is the same. Now the harnesses themselves have different plugs on the end, so you'll have to swap your harness over to the new bumper. But like I said, the actual plug, socket, and the bulb itself is the same between the two. As for the trailer plug, so 1418 one would look like this. This is a replacement off Amazon. I can post the link in the description. I bought this for about, I think, 20 bucks. This is a 4-pin and a 7-way. This is the dual, which if you look will plug into my factory connector. So you'll have to get a new one because this is the one from my '07. Obviously different size, different style, and it goes onto the bumper differently. The spare tire plug or access for it, that I don't know. This is the one that came on the 14 to 18. My truck was missing it. It had fallen off at one point, so I'm not sure what it would look like or whether you can swap them over. But like I said, this is the one from the 14 to 18, and it'll line up with your piece on your spare tire well. The difficult thing for it is removing it. It's got like a spring-loaded clip back here. Almost no good way to do it other than by destroying that clip. And I'm just going to have to figure out, I might zip tie this in or something in order for it to stay in. So at this point, I've just got to make one good bumper and then it's ready to bolt on. So I'm going to get to work on that, and then once that's finished, go back outside and throw the bumper on. So I'm running into a fitment problem on the sides. So I've still got about another ½ inch or so that the bumper needs to slide in, but it's hitting the bed right here at this corner bracket. So I'm going to pull this back off, trim both brackets, and then try and see if I can get it back on. And then I've got to repeat on this side. So it just needs trimmed a little more. I basically need to bring it down about to here probably. And it's gonna rest against the step, but I think it'll work. Like I said, I'm just gonna trim it there. All right, after some more trimming, test fit again and see if that's enough. So I think it'll finally fit. Now I could see on my bed where it was hitting, so I simply took a dead blow and gave it a couple smacks. My bed has some body damage to begin with, so not really gonna hurt it. And then I also kind of hammered in and rounded up the edges here where it's contacting. So let's give it yet another shot. And that's that. It finally had enough clearance for all the bolts to line up. So I just need to tighten everything up and then plug in my tag lights, my trailer plug, test them out, and then throw my license plate back on. Well, here is the finished product. So I have it completely bolted on. I also tested the tag lights and the trailer plug, and everything works, so everything's good to go there. So really just to recap a few things. So this is a 1500 bumper and 1500 brackets. However, this top cap is actually a 2500 piece. The bumpers themselves are identical, 1500, 2500, 3500. It's the brackets that are different along with the top cap. Now this is a 1500 truck, and obviously you can see it's close under the tailgate, but it still opens. It just slightly rubs when you open it. So it does still fit. As for the corners that I had to do trimming on the inside brackets, you can definitely get away with just trimming those completely and not having to hammer in your bed. But for me, that was the easiest and quickest way to do it. So that's what I went with. As for the hitch, so I actually have an aftermarket Kurt Class 4 hitch on this. I'd remove the factory one. The factory 0713 isn't going to bolt to the bumper anymore, so you're going to lose the two mounting tabs here. So you might have to get creative there, but my application, like I said, I had it upgraded and I no longer have mounting points there anyway. Like I said earlier in the description, I'll include a link for this trailer plug that I had purchased. It's plug and play with this truck, and it also fits directly into the bumper. So I'll include the link in the description for that. But otherwise, thanks for watching.